Somebody's camera went into the water.
Blinking down there?
It is kind of comical to watch the two giant chopsticks trying to retrieve the camera. If I look tired this morning, it's because I am. In fact, I'm so tired that I totally, off camera, just forgot my memory card and had to run up to the room to go get it. I'm hoping though that the energy of Japan brings me to life today. We're off to catch a train. So we just caught the metro down to Osaka Station, and then we're jumping on one of the JR trains to Himeji Castle. It's a very strange moment here in Japan. The trains are all delayed 40-45 minutes, and usually everything here works clockwork, like to the second. It's amazing how things work so like crisply here. So it's a little bit confusing, I think, to everybody that things are delayed. I'm not sure if it's because there was an accident, which Google Maps says there might have been, or if it's just because it's packed, busy. It's Saturday in the heart of cherry blossom season in Kyoto, Osaka, Himeji area, which is like super touristy, and not only for foreign tourists but also for locals. So yeah, some delays going on, but we'll get there eventually. So we made it to Himeji Station, and because of the delays, we've got kind of limited time before the castle closes, so we're kind of just going to book it through town, about a 15-minute walk to the park, and check out this castle.
And do not return until you have the mask in your possession. To claim the mask.
The castle is definitely not hard to find. As soon as you walk out of the train station, it's like right there, like straight down the middle of the main road, and it looks absolutely stunning. I'm so stoked to explore this. This place is incredible. You can't see it from here, but just on the other side of the pond, there's a bridge leading in to the castle that's now behind these cherry blossoms. And I was thinking I might struggle for like a photo location, but I can always fall back on that. I can always just come back that way and shoot this. The castle gates, or the park gates, apparently close at 5. The castle itself closes at 4. So we're gonna race into the castle now and get right into the grounds. It is packed in here, it's so busy, but this actually might be the coolest place we've seen so far in Japan to view the sakura, the cherry blossoms. Because even when it's packed down here, you can still get photos of the castle with these cherry blossoms in the shot. This is insane in here. This is incredible, absolutely unreal. Not only is the castle massive and way bigger than we expected it to be, but the cherry blossoms everywhere are just fantastic. It does close at 4 though, so from a photography standpoint, I am trying to shoot some like blue day stuff, and luckily the cherry blossoms make it easier. But if you're ever shooting photos in the middle of the day, or you're forced to shoot photos in the middle of the day, you really have to focus on composition, because you need to if you don't have the benefit of amazing light. I'm gonna say something I don't think I've ever said before. I think this castle might photograph best in the middle of the day. And it's just a matter of the fact that the contrast of this blue sky and the soft afternoon light on the white castle just looks fantastic, especially with the cherry blossoms. The white cherry blossoms match the building, and it's just it's a beautiful contrast, and I'm actually getting a bunch of shots I like. So we're inside Himeji Castle. We're inside the Japanese castle, and really cool, they have made us take our shoes off. So we have no shoes. We're inside this castle that was renovated just a couple of years ago, and it smells fresh. It smells like a log cabin, and it's really, really cool in here.
And do not return until you have the mask in your possession. To claim the mask.
We decided to climb the castle, and it's packed in here. There's like massive lines, and we keep thinking that we're almost at the top, and then there's another set of stairs like this. And I think this one's the top. So, being honest, the climb up the castle isn't worth it in the crowds. It's just packed in here, and we got to the top, literally just got to the top now, and they just told us everybody has to leave. We literally just got up. So yeah, if you come to Hijemi Castle, maybe just stick to the outside. Okay, shoes are back on. The chaos of the crowds of climbing that tower are over. I said it might not be worth it going up, but if you're ever here not in cherry blossom season, not on a Saturday, it's probably worth going up. It's a really cool structure, and the views are pretty good. Just maybe not easy to get photos through, like the gradedness and the crowds today. We are now heading to a photo spot that we found on Trover, as usual. That's not too far from here. It's just on the edge of the castle. There's like the moat and this red bridge in the photo, and I think I found it from above. I honestly thought I was gonna like be bothered by all the crowds in Japan, especially with the cherry blossoms and everything like that, but I'm not. Everybody's like kind of just chill, hanging out. You get dudes with big lenses on tripods taking cherry blossom shots. You get people on their phones taking shots, and everybody's just really, really respectful of each other. The location that I'm sourcing, or I sourced, I think is on the other side of the zoo. So I think it might be inside the zoo. So the spot we found on Trover is in the zoo, and I don't do zoos. I do feed deer in parks in Nara apparently, but I don't do zoos. I don't know. And then the other thing is they close in like 20 minutes. So we're gonna leave the park. We're gonna see if we can find like a roundabout way to get to that photo location. And then if we can, we'll shoot it. If we can't, we'll just shoot like the very front of the building where we came in. One of the many beauties of having an assistant is I just sent Tyler to go scout out down this location to see if he can find that spot with the red bridge that we found on Trover, and to find out if there's an access point to it. Meanwhile, I'm setting my tripod up here where there's another photographer getting an epic shot of some people with umbrellas on the bridge. That looks fantastic. Anyways, we're gonna like wait to see what Tyler does, but I'm gonna set up the sticks here now just to kind of establish this position, because this is also a really great photo. Tyler's back, says he found the spot, and there's already a bunch of photographers waiting. Jody's just run off on a solo mission somewhere, and I kind of want to get my tripod set up. So advantage number 2 of having an assistant is Tyler's going to sit here and wait while I go and get my tripod set up over there. Hopefully. Let's move. We're down in the dirt here. We found the location. Well, I should say Trover found the location, then we found the spot on Trover, and it's perfect. I'm shooting 50 millimeters, but look at where I am. I'm like stuffed right in here because it's the only spot you can be where the cherry blossoms kind of encase or frame the castle, and you still have the red bridge in the bottom. I already got a shot I like. There was like this boat coming through that's actually still floating through there, and it was a really cool foreground of the image. But we're gonna wait until the light goes dark and just see what happens. I've got the frame figured out, I've got the shot figured out, thinking maybe like a 10-second exposure, 20-second exposure. So gonna sit here in the dirt for a bit and take some pictures. So it's kind of cramped in here and it's hard for me to talk. I feel like I'm in prison, but I kind of want to talk about a technique that I'm doing with the shot because it's really different than what I usually do. But I really wanted this like soft, dreamy effect on these flowers in the top. And to do that, you can throw on a lens like a 50 millimeter and go f1.4, 1.8, even 2.8 will probably do the trick. And then I still want the blurry water. I want the long exposure effect of the water. So I've got a 10-stop ND filter on right now. Also a 3-stop grad ND just to keep the light in the sky, and it's creating this really, really interesting effect where it's dreamy, shallow depth of field, but still a long exposure. And with the 10-stop ND, it's also kind of creating a vignetted effect, which I sometimes hate, but in this situation, it looks kind of awesome. We're still gonna sit here, hang out, and wait for the sunset, but it's kind of fun trying different shots. We got the shot with the boat, we now got this dreamy shot, and then once the light comes down, we'll hopefully get a golden hour, maybe a blue hour shot. So lots of shots. I haven't hardly moved the tripod or the camera, but there's like 5 or 6 shots to be had. So while we were shooting, somebody's camera went into the water, and only in Japan this would happen. The dude made a phone call, and now like 3 guys have come in with bamboo sticks and a fishing net to try to fish out the camera. It looked like a Sony A7R Mark II, and he had like a 16 to 35 millimeter f2.8, and they're gonna try to fish it out.
Blinking down there?
Yeah, it's blinking. I don't understand why somebody just doesn't go in. Maybe the most entertaining thing about this is the owner doesn't seem that worried. Oh, they got it. I think they got it. Oh. Oh. I don't understand why. It's like maybe waist deep or like belly deep, and I was actually gonna jump in. I offered to jump in, but they were like, no, we'll call these guys. They'll take care of it. I don't understand. Somebody just go in their Speedo and then we'd all have this solved. Oh, and now they just broke the bamboo retriever. So it seems like the technique. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm really trying not to laugh. It seems like the technique is that they have their 2 like sticks and then just like trying giant chopstick style to pick up the camera and tripod.
It's not funny that the camera's in the water, but the chopsticks is
and I'm trying not to laugh because if this was me, I would be crying. I would be in the water, but I would also be crying. So I'm trying not to laugh, but it is kind of comical to watch the 2 giant chopsticks trying to retrieve the camera. We dropped it in. When he dropped the camera in, he literally just like was like, oh shit. And then he was like, started undressing, and then he was like, you know what, I'll just call the police. No big deal. $5,000 worth of camera gear.
Yeah, at least.
No biggie.
Oh, stop!
Oh, stop! Hey! So the camera's been retrieved. That was an exciting moment in our afternoon. I'm so glad that wasn't me, but if that was me, I would have been in that water in 1 second. I almost got naked right in front of all these strangers to go save somebody else's camera. And then I remembered it wasn't my camera, and if the photographer himself isn't willing to get naked to save his own camera, he probably has too much money. Anyways, that was a fun day. We didn't move my tripod the entire time we shot there at Himeji Castle at that viewpoint just now. So an absolute kind of show of the different compositions and the different way you can make light work for you throughout an afternoon shoot without even moving your tripod. So that was fun. It was a little bit sad seeing all that camera gear go in, but that's life as a photographer sometimes. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow from here in Japan. Peace.